Welcome to all Caribbean entrepreneurs. If you've been ready and waiting to take your business digital and get paid online while you sip something strong on the beach, this podcast is for you. We'll hear from the Caribbean's finest entrepreneurs on topics like e-commerce, business development, brand building, social media, their wins and failures. This is the only place in the region helping you navigate the digital age from the Caribbean's perspective. This is Digipreneur FM. And now, let's give it up for the Digiboss himself, Mr. Karan Rose.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Digipreneur FM. And as always, it is your boy, Mr. Karan Rose, live and direct. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. How are you feeling? How are you doing? It's an amazing time to be alive. It definitely is. There's just so much happening, so much changes, so much things to be grateful for. And, you know, I'm just, once again, very grateful that you're tuning into another episode of the Digipreneur FM podcast. This episode was one that was in the making for quite some time. Now, the guest that we had on, Ms. Xayli Barclay, the big boss herself, her schedule is hectic, and I mean, she's involved in some amazing projects. So this was something that we wanted to do for some time. Definitely wanted to have this conversation with her. And we finally got to carve out some time out of her schedule and get her on to the Digipreneur live show. So we actually did a live with her, and that was really, really good. And if you want to see the video of that interview, you definitely should check it out, because some of the things that we spoke about, I highlighted, just the level of quality of her work, and then you're able to see the difference between, her video quality versus mine. So definitely head on over to the Karan Rose YouTube channel, and you can check that out. And I'll also put the link to the video in the show notes. So if you want to watch the live video of it, you definitely can. It's definitely worth the watch, just so you can see, just the level of quality that Xayli Barclay's work is. But anywho, so this podcast episode, this is a pre-recorded episode that we took from the Digipreneur live show. And we're giving it to the audio family, right? We love to treat you guys good. And this was really good. We got to dive into, video. If you want to get started with video, we dove into, getting started. She broke down her 3-step process: to start, shoot, and grow process, and what the equipment looks like during each of those stages, and how to get started, when you should start trying to invest in the equipment. We spoke about, how to monetize some of the things. Then we dove into live streaming, the importance of live streaming, some of the differences between, pre-recorded video and live streaming. Overall, it was just a really, really good conversation. One that if you are looking to step your game up with video and live streaming, if you want to grow your brand and build your digital presence and increase your sales and increase your thought leadership and authority, then this is video and live streaming is definitely something that you want to do. So this podcast episode is from the Digipreneur live show with Xayli Barclay. I'll have the links to her platforms and her online academy all in the show notes. Definitely enjoy this episode, and let me know in the comments how you guys feel after listening to this. All right, so let's get into today's episode with Xayli Barclay. Good night, everybody, tuning in to another episode of Digipreneur Live. This episode is one that is gonna be filled with tons of gems, and you guys know anytime I tell you that there's gonna be gems, it's to have your pencil, your pen, your notepad, have a little beverage so that you don't have to walk away from your computer or your tablet. You want to make sure you're nice and settled and cozy to take in the program and what we're going to be talking about. the guest that we have for the episode tonight, I want to say needs no introduction, but you already know I have to come with the introduction in a very big way. But before we bring in the guest for tonight, let's talk. Let's see who's in the comments tonight. As you tune in, let me know in the comments. Let me know that you are here. Let me know where you are watching from. Are you tuning in from Trinidad and Tobago? Are you in Jamaica? Are you in St. Lucia? Are you in St. Martin? Montserrat? Where else do we have tuning in from? Are we Grenada? Guyana? British Virgin Islands? The UK? The US? Canada? Let me know in the comments where you are tuning in from. You know, we love to see when the entire region and the diaspora tunes into the program. So first things first, the first comment comes from Donna. Donna says the countdown is on. I know Donna has been waiting to see the guests tonight. I know that. Dominique says good night, and she's tuning in from Trinidad and Tobago. Maurice is inside from Yard. Me love it. I feel for some jerk chicken right now, you know. But we'll save that for after the program. We have, I want to say it's Tiny G. She's tuning in from Trini. Crumb Coated Fun. Trinidad is in the house. My guy, Christian, we outside like garbage bag on a Monday. You see it every single Monday. Me love it. Chris says he's tuning in from Trinidad. Roxanne says, big up yourself. What going from Yard? Donna, Trini, LinkedIn, Trinidad and Tobago. Wonderful. So guys, as you come into the program, you know, let us know where you guys are tuning in from. So the reason this show had to happen is that we are in the digital age. And I know one of the biggest gripes I see online is video. People talk about, hey, do we have to do video? I don't want to do video. I don't want to have to put on no makeup. I don't want to have to do my hair. And thank God I don't have no hair to do up. But, you know, I understand. It takes some time to mentally prepare yourself to be able to get on video. Outside of just the looks, people are confused about, well, what do we need? What kind of tools do we need? What equipment? What software? There's so much to understanding the video game. And I can only teach you from the things that I have done. So I had to go and recruit the sensei. I had to get the big boss. I had to get someone who, as soon as I bring her in, you are going to see the difference in quality. She's gonna make me look, she's gonna put me to shame. The quality just not gonna, my quality gonna look like doo-doo. All right? She's gonna put me to shame. So I had to go and get the sensei to come in and talk to us about video, live streaming, using these platforms and this medium in particular to build your business. And then we're gonna dive into things like the tools that you need, software, you know, the importance of using it to build your brand and monetization opportunities. So, without further ado, the special guest for tonight is none other than Xayli Barclay. Oh, God.
Now, what am I supposed to do with that kind of introduction?
Show up and show out.
There you go.
Xayli, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to connect with everyone in the chat, in the comments. I'm ready for it.
I love it. Now, you know, I just got to highlight to everybody immediately. You see, as Xayli came in, I want you guys, right? So, I mean, I look all right. I know I look okay. I'm like mid-tier. But just take a gander. Take a gander at Xayli. Take a gander at Xayli. Let me bring Xayli up full screen for your viewing pleasure, right? Take a look. You see the difference. There's levels. There's levels to it.
Y'all need to stop him, okay?
No, but you know what? This is good because in the time that we are in, we know that video plays a key role in building your presence online, selling online, and a bunch of other things that we're going to get into. So I'm glad that you were able to, carve out some time out of the evening so you could come and talk to us and give us some tips and, and help us along the way and help us. Yeah.
I'm here for it. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So just to get things started, so just give the audience who, if this is the first time they are seeing you, just give us a little breakdown as to, what do you do and some of the big projects that you are involved in, because I know you're involved in some big things. So take it away, Xayli.
Hey guys, I'm Xayli Barclay. I'm a few things well, I have to say that. I am most known for partnering with Thinkific. We host the Think in Color conference every single year, but I'm also a video content creation coach. I love helping people get really confident on camera, and I'm also the CEO of the Start, Shoot, Grow Video Academy. So I help people get really confident on camera so they can build, market, and sell their online courses.
Wow. I love it, Xayli. Wonderful. So, tell us, how did you get started? How did you know that this was your thing? This is where you needed to be to really, take this to another level. How did you get started?
That's a really good question. I really got started as a beauty blogger, which is something that people never really expect. I loved, getting dressed and, showing people how to put themselves together. But I was also deeply connected to purpose and understanding success. Like sometimes I go back and read some of my posts and I'm like, girl, what were you even thinking? So I always knew I wanted to work for myself. That was never a question. I left Trinidad when I was around 16, 17, went to college, got into corporate America. I thought that was my dream. I was like, I wanted to work in the headquarters of someplace in Manhattan, and I made it there. And I realized, this ain't it. Yes. And so that I realized really early the power of the internet, because I ended up in PR. And I realized that there was no one that looked like me that they were marketing about. And that made me realize, hey, I want to really start creating content in the online space. So that was, I would say, 2008, 2009.
Wow. So you've been doing this for a while.
Yes, I've been in the online space for a while, and really realized that I wanted to put content out there so that I can create transformations in people's lives. But I would say around 2013, 2014, I started creating video content.
Right.
When I started creating video content, the feedback that I got was, you're so great at this. What the heck? How can you show me? But I knew that I went through so many stages of getting to a place where I was confident on camera. I started YouTube in, I would say, 2011, 2012, and I deleted that channel because I was embarrassed about, everything. Like, girl, you look crazy. I was in my bathroom. I was creating content like everybody else. And I deleted that. Now I think back like, damn, if you had stuck to that, where would you have been now?
Right.
However, everything for a reason. And so I ended up in a space where I started teaching others how to get confident on camera, how to use video to gain visibility, how to use video as a way to market yourself and sell yourself. And so in doing that, I ended up, just gaining traction of brands and people that wanted to work with me. And I moved from a place of me reaching out to people or brands to them reaching out to me. Like, how can we get you to work with us? Like, what is this? What are you doing? We want to be a part of it, kind of thing. And that's how I really got started. So it's been a journey, but all worth it for sure.
Listen, that is, and what I like is that I feel like I've been seeing you for so many years, and your transition has been in a big way. And it wasn't until I think I seen a particular picture that you posted on Instagram, and I was like, wait a minute, this is the girl from Thinkific from how long?
Yes, a lot of people don't know that's me, but yes.
Yes, it never clicked. Again, the transition has been amazing, and to see some of the brands that you have been able to work with has been truly inspiring, especially because it's not like you grew up in the US.
Yeah.
When you hear about people leaving at such a kind of a late age, like 16, 17, to come over there, and you have kind of pioneered the video online space with what you were doing and how you were doing it, coming from Trinidad. This is a story that people can look at and really be inspired by. And I love the juxtaposition, because you left at a late age to move over to the US, and I left Canada, a few years and came to Trinidad.
Yeah, it's totally opposite, right?
It's totally opposite. So when you moved from coming from Trinidad to the US, how was that transition for you, especially when you didn't grow up there, you moved over there at a late age, and you're getting your business started? How was that transition for you?
It was a transition for sure. But I also felt like I just fell into the groove of it. I lived in Brooklyn, New York, so I feel like I was still surrounded by my people. My mom was here, so I used to come before I moved. I would come regularly. Like I would be in the U.S. like 3 times for the year,
Right.
until they would look at me at the immigration stop point, like, what the heck? Like,
Right.
what are you doing?
Right.
And so I would come regularly. So I was already acclimated pretty much. Like I even got stuck here for 9/11. It's so crazy.
Wow.
Like
Right.
could not come back to Trinidad because they
Right.
locked off everything.
Right.
um, so that it was a bit of a transition, but I was also very prepared for it. So I made sure that I did my SATs. I made sure that I organized everything so that I can come to the US and start studying. So I was really
Right.
focused on school and really just zoned into college and understanding college life. And I went to a private school in Brooklyn called St. Francis College, and we had a few Trinis there as well, so it
Right.
didn't feel completely out of my
Your
wheelhouse.
element. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't not a large group, but at least we had people. It was a soccer team,
Right.
so
Right. Right.
they were importing us from.
Right.
But that was definitely it wasn't that difficult. And soon I realized, well, listen, if you can live in New York, you need to learn how to navigate, and you grow a tough skin. You realize that you got to do what you got to do, kind of thing. And I will always credit not growing up, but becoming a woman in New York City,
Right.
for my work ethic, my grind,
Right. Right.
my belief in what I do, So yeah, the transition was a bit, but it wasn't that crazy because it was gradual.
Right. 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 That's good. Like I feel like I know for me coming to Trinidad, where you're coming to the Caribbean, it's not as fast paced as a New York or as Toronto.
Yeah.
And moving here, I realized that while I work hard, I don't work Canada hard.
I'm
Right?
trying to be like you.
Yeah. I feel like I work hard, but just
Yeah.
just a difference in pace. I kind of had to adjust a bit, because when you're in Toronto, you're going 24/7, because half the time it's 2 jobs and a
It's
side
like New York.
hustle. It's exactly like New York. It's exactly like New York. Cost of living is astronomical.
Yeah.
So the grind that you have to be on over there, I feel like it's another level, right? But here, moving to Trinidad, cost of living isn't like New York or
Yeah.
or Toronto. So I've been able to kind of slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
But even with the ethics that I have and bringing that from Canada over to here, I've been able to see the fruits of my labor in the market.
Yes. Yeah, no,
And
I totally get that. So for
right,
me, I moved from New York City to Dallas, Texas almost 4 years ago.
right,
And I had one student that lived in Dallas, and I was completely tired of New York. And I asked her, what is Dallas like? And
right,
so Texas people look at New York as the Mecca. So she said, girl, do not come here because it's not like New York. And I said,
right,
all right, gotcha. Thanks.
right,
And I locked myself into a lease and I came. And so it is a lot slower than New York. It's not, well, where I live in the city still, which is so much slower than Manhattan.
Right.
It's, everyone comes downtown and they're like, "Oh my gosh." I'm like, this is not a downtown.
Right.
Calm down. But, it's still slower than New York. Cost of living is different. It's way more comfortable. Everyone here is relaxed.
Right.
And I realized, or I found out, that Texas has most of the YouTubers, like the biggest audience of creators, I should say.
Right.
But they're so relaxed because they're used to Texas living that everyone looks at me like, "Yo, you're crazy."
You're going too hard.
Yes. I'm like, I got stuff to do.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. I love it. I love it. So Xayli, I want us to dive into the meat of the matter. Let's start to talk about video and live streaming, because I know that, again, this is a big struggle for people in the
Yeah.
Caribbean. They're now faced with having to be digital, whereas the culture pre-pandemic, people never really needed to be online. People were good with just doing business within the community, and face to face. Now,
Yeah.
there's no face to face. And
Yeah.
unlike the States and in Canada, where things are opening back up, we in Trinidad are still under a state of emergency.
Yeah.
Jamaica's still going through lockdown days. So a lot of things have been shifted online, and everybody's trying to figure it out as we go. So let's start with, you create a wide variety of different types of content for different mediums. What makes video special?
Video is very similar to being in person. That's the difference. So with video content, you're still able to have an in-person experience
Right.
in the online space. So it's really helpful for conversions, for getting people to understand who you are, how you can help. People want to see you. If we can't feel each other, we at least want to see each other.
Right.
Also, there is very little room to be authentic. I don't know why I'm tripping over my
Right.
words. I'm
Right.
excited. When you are using video content, right?
Right.
So I can take a picture, and yes, it's worth 1,000 words, but I can have a conversation on camera. And
Right.
so that's completely different, because look at us. We can sit here and connect with people in the comments live while we're having this conversation. It's just a bit more organic. And as we move into the future, we realize how powerful live is. So
Yeah, and again, we're trying to get people to just do video. So live is
yeah.
is a whole different beast, but we have to dive into that. We will.
Yes.
So people struggle with video for many reasons. Now, as a video content coach, what are two of the biggest reasons that you see some of your clients struggling with when it comes to video and getting started?
Yeah. Two things. And these are, they're not in relation to each other. The first thing is, forget what people told you that you were before you knew yourself, or you knew who you were, right?
Right.
So let me tell you something. Growing up in Trinidad or the Caribbean, you'll hear big head. I used to get big eyes. I used to get all the things. And I'm like, that's how I make money now, darling. Right? So a lot of us aren't creating content because we're caught up in what people told us about ourselves when we were growing up, especially women, right? So
Right.
someone told you something about yourself and you held on to that into adulthood, and it's preventing you from getting on camera and sharing your purpose and sharing your message for other people. You stuck with what someone gave to you.
Yes.
So I'm encouraging you to address that and let it go. Right?
That's big, powerful, and yes, that's huge.
Yes. And you'll never feel ready. You'll never feel worth it. You'll never feel, that you're at the top of the mountain. You have to act. And as you take action, then, you'll get there as you go along. The other thing is, quality is what you know. It's not how, like, I can show up on camera like this in studio, but I can get on IG with my phone and spit the same game. Right? So quality is based on how consistent you are. How often are people seeing you, right? If you decide I'm gonna go live and you go live twice, and then you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Your spark dies down, and they can't see you, and they don't see you for like 4 months. How are people going to trust you or
Right.
trust you to do business with you?
Right.
Our physical stores are open every day. They're showing up every single day.
That's
So
a very
if
good
you
point.
are looking to create an online business or connecting the online space, think about this as part of your job description.
Yeah.
Don't depend on a fancy camera or a setup. I started with my phone and a ring light
Yeah. Yeah.
in my living room.
And that is a perfect segue into the next question. One of the big complaints, or one of the reasons people give when starting video, is they don't have the right equipment. So how important is it to have the quote unquote right equipment to get started?
Yeah, this is a really good question. And I like to say your equipment really, really, if you're not making money just yet, if you're just starting out, you don't have to invest in the best equipment. Your equipment can be upgraded as you get more into it, and then you start gaining traction, you start making money, then reinvest into your business. Don't go spend it on dinner or something else, but make sure that you are reinvesting back into your business. So you don't have to start with the best. You can start, with your phone. Start with what you have, and then you continue to invest and upgrade. So I would say, listen, you have 100K in the palm of your hands right
Mm-hmm.
now. It depends on you posting for profit and taking action, so that you're just on there. Get on there. If and I like to say, if you can't use your phone to create video content, you're not going to use a camera.
That's a fact. That's a
Super
fact.
fast.
That's a fact. And and look at that. And Dominique asked, can I live stream in my car on a phone as a
Yes.
start? So yes, you
Dominique, I
can.
want to see your car chronicles, girl. Like, yes. Get started.
And we know that we have one of the top comedians out of Trinidad, Kivo. All
Yes.
Kivo does is use his
Thank
phone and sit in
you.
his car.
Exactly. So take note. Yes, you do not need all of the fancy equipment to get started at all.
Love it, love it. So I had seen a post that you did a while back, and I was trying to find it, and I couldn't find it again. But it's the basis for this next little segment. So I want to break down the phases of your video setup. So I know that you've broken it down from beginner, then there's that mid-level, then there's the expertise. So
Yeah.
when people are thinking about getting started with video, a lot of times too, they don't know exactly where to start, because the internet is the wild, wild west. People will say, go get a used DSLR to start, and go for the gusto, right? So
Yeah.
when you're coaching your clients and in your school, what does a basic setup look like? What consists of a basic setup for video?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I like to think about my setups in the way that I named my company and my framework, which is start, shoot, grow, right?
Mm,
So a starter setup would be a tripod, because you don't want to have shaky hands. Although we trust our hands, we think that it's going to come out great. Sometimes it just really doesn't.
right,
So you want to make sure you're using a tripod, and I would say a window, right? Get in front of some lighting. Lighting is
right.
key. You can't skimp on the lighting.
Yeah,
Another thing that is key is your microphone. So get a lapel mic that you can plug into your phone, right?
right.
And start just like that. Start with your tripod, your phone, some window light or some daylight. Let me tell you something. If I lived in Trinidad, my content would be on point, because
Of course, you.
well, let me tell you why though.
Tell
We
me.
have, like, when I think back to Trinidad, like what the resources that we have available, like beautiful sunlight, grass and trees. You got to remember that most of the people that are on the internet, they don't live like that.
Right.
I like to tell people I was born where you vacation, right?
Correct.
So use what you have around you. You're at a advantage,
Right.
right?
Correct. Correct.
So think about it like that. So then we move into the shoot set, which is as you start getting traction, you start attracting an audience, you start being able to possibly monetize a bit with your product or your service or whatever it is. You can start investing a little bit, get a good computer where you can plug in your Ethernet cable so that your Wi-Fi is stable. Get a webcam, get a ring light. Just keep going like that, upgrading slightly, right?
Right.
So your webcam is going to give you a bit better quality. Your Ethernet cable is going to give you good connection for your internet. Invest in a microphone, so like a standing mic like this one. There are some affordable ones on
Right.
Amazon, and that would get you where you're going as far as your shoot set.
Right.
Now when you hit grow, you're
Mm-hmm.
able to invest even more. That's when I would say, if you realize I'm really consistent with this thing, I'm attracting an audience, people are reaching out to work with me, I'm making money. Okay, good. I can buy a camera now because I trust myself. I
Right.
trust that I'm going to show up. I trust that I'm committed to the bigger picture, the bigger vision. I'm connected to my business, my audience. Now I can start even letting my audience know, hey, because of you guys, I'm able to start upgrading and give you a better experience,
Right.
right? So you're able to start getting a DSLR, your tripod. You're able to start creating a studio. I did not start out with a studio,
Right.
right? You're able to. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you're able to invest in lighting. You're able to invest in just higher quality tools and things. You're able to invest in programs, software, tools, all of the things, but that doesn't come from the beginning. So you want to make sure that you're validating your purchases.
I love it. And you're absolutely right. Validating those purchases, because boy, these things are not cheap.
They're costly.
You said something in the beginning phase, right? In the starting phase, with respects to your video and audio. Just for perspective for the audience, what would you say is more important when starting out? Video quality or audio quality?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say audio quality because I could sit through a messed up video, but I can't promise you I'm there at the end of the video if it has messed up audio. So I would
Right.
say invest in a simple lapel microphone, even if you have your headphones. Plug your headphones in into your phone because that helps a bit when you're just getting started. And
Right.
honestly, it's really about solving bad video comes from bad lighting. If you have good lighting, like I can record on my phone and you'll think that it's on my camera, but it's really
Right.
my lighting.
So, you know what? I see that Donna has a question and she's asking about some tips on lighting, because I don't think when we are thinking about setups and we think about tools, the average person doesn't really think too much about the lighting. They're usually thinking
Yeah.
about the camera first, then microphone, and then everything else. But lighting just never seems to be in the conversation. So,
Yeah.
talk to us about lighting and give us some tips for getting yourself well lit to get a better video quality.
Go outside. That's it. Let me tell you something. You guys in Trinidad or in the Caribbean, sorry, I probably keep saying Trinidad, but you guys are so
Yeah.
blessed. In New York, we have to deal with the elements. It's not, bright outside today. It's not like there's so much going on. So let me give you a few tips for recording in natural light. It's what we call natural light. It's what
Mm-hmm.
everyone is chasing here. Okay. Which is why I said if I was in the Caribbean, my content would be A1, which
Yeah.
is why I moved to Texas, right?
Yeah.
But let me tell you, if you're recording in the daylight, you want to make sure that you're recording either before the sun comes up. And if you don't get up that early, make sure that you're recording when the sun is going down because the light is less harsh, or on a cloudy day. So on a
Right.
cloudy day, you can record all day because what happens is the clouds diffuse the sun.
Right.
But if you are not ready to invest in lighting, get outside, get started, get outside, go outside, put your phone on a tripod and record, right?
Right.
Make sure that you have a microphone connected so that we're not hearing the cars passing in the street and all that kind of stuff. Go in the backyard. Keep it simple. Now, yes, go outside, Donna. So, the other thing is if you have an in-home studio or just in your living room, because that's where I started years ago in my tiny apartment in Brooklyn. Like if you've been to New York, you're like, oh my gosh, how do you live here?
Right.
That's how I feel when I go back to New York now, because Texas, everything is huge.
Right.
But if you are in a space that, let's say you're in the corner of your living room, literally get into a corner. If you look at me right now, you'll realize I have a bit more dimension because I'm backed into a corner. So I have a wall here and a wall here, right? That gives my camera a bit more depth when recording, right? So I'm not flat against a wall. I built my studio this way specifically, so I have a little more room for light to play.
Right.
When you are lighting yourself, well, if you're wearing glasses, like I am right now, I have a light right above me.
Right.
And that's my only light, right?
So it's pointing down on top of you?
Yes.
Okay.
So it highlights me and it doesn't highlight anything else, right? I'm looking down because my monitor is down, but yes, it doesn't highlight anything else. And so and it's one soft box, and I got it from Amazon. Let me tell you something. Everybody loves finding out about my studio because my studio is not insane. I'm not going to tell you spend $20,000 on lighting. I'm not here for that.
But it looks like $20,000.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, but yeah, I just have one light shining down on me. If you're just getting started and you're, a little nervous about lighting, get a ring light and always place that light behind your camera, right? So that the light is behind your camera or your phone is in front of that light, and start going, right? So, yeah.
Listen, I think that, seeing some people how they set their sceneries, have it lit, it makes everything look like it costs triple the price.
Yes.
And it's just amazing. So it really comes down to just the lighting and how you position it.
Yeah, I would say that. Now, I will tell you that my studio is about $10,000 deep, but that's compared to other people.
Pesos or US?
We don't deal with pesos. No, but that's not, and I only knew that because some time ago, Ecamm reached out to me to calculate it. I had never calculated it, but there are people that have more insane pricing, like the cost of their studios, and they have told me, so this is not coming from me, that my quality still looks better than some of these people. So I'm like, well, it's really about where you place your lighting. And another thing I'll tell you guys, honestly, it's not even about that. It's how you get on here and present yourself. That's what's going to differentiate you. So yes, you can have this and you can have that, but your energy, whenever I come on camera, I'm thinking, how am I serving my people? How am I getting my people excited? What's the energy that I have? How am I bringing the sauce on camera? Right. That's what makes a difference. So you could have the fanciest, studio, and you're just here like
dead.
Ain't nobody gonna come back.
Correct.
You want to keep things like that in mind. Your energy, your personality. Don't be afraid or ashamed.
Do you have to hype yourself up to come on camera? How do you build your vibe to show up in a big way?
You know what? I'm a hip hop head. So I get into some things before I get on camera. Like I was the girl that would be in front of the auditorium in secondary school. I'm trying to alter my words here because I would say high school to people that
Right.
But in secondary school, I was the girl that I thought I was a rapper. I would get flack for it, but it was all
Right.
right. I thought I was Foxy Brown.
Right.
So for me, I just need to, I get myself high, and I used to get in trouble. Like, okay, so where's your soca? Well, it's there, but
No Mashal today. Well, no Mashal today.
yeah. So, I listen to some music sometimes. And that gets me in, like when I'm getting ready.
Yeah.
Like when you go into a party, you like, you listen
Yeah.
to some music, you get used. But honestly, the thing that really helps me, especially if I'm nervous, because it's funny, I was talking to my academy members last night, and I was telling them that I still get nervous sometimes getting on camera. And they were like, "You?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
Wow.
I do." When that happens, I tap back into heart space, right? So,
Hmm.
how do I want people to feel? What is my genuine and honest message?
Right.
How do I feel right now? So sometimes I'm not super hyped because I genuinely feel calm. So that's the
Right.
kind of live you're gonna get. Because what I don't want to do is, not be myself.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But
Right.
I will counteract that by saying there's a part in the journey where you also have to channel. So if you are just starting and like, listen, this ain't my wheelhouse, you also can find someone that you really love their energy, you connect with them, and you kind of channel that. So sometimes I'll put on a playlist
Right.
of Oprah talking. Like, I need to somehow
Siphon her
tap
energy.
into, like what she's saying, I feel that today. So, or
Yeah.
I probably needed that today, because a lot of us try to get on camera and pour from an empty cup. Can't do that. So you got to fill your cup first. So, however, I'm saying that to say, if you fill your cup with hip hop, trap music, soca, it don't matter how you fill your cup, but you need to fill your cup before you get on camera, because it's a must. You can't pour into other people and you won't have nothing in your cup.
It takes a lot
It does.
coming up on camera. Worse when it's live, because if it's video, if it's pre-recorded, you could pre-record it, watch it back, and you're like, my energy isn't there. Let me go take a walk outside and come back and then try it again later. But when it's live, you get everything live and direct. So what Xayli said about pouring into yourself before you get on camera is critical. Like when people watch my my IG stories, I have a party. Almost every day is a party, because we have to create content every single day. So for me to tap in, is what kind of music or what kind of energy or talk, what can pour into me so that when I show up, I can show up in a big way. So I like what you said there. Now, to tap into live streaming, is the live streaming setup different from a video setup?
That is a really good question. It really depends on the type of video that you're doing. So for me, I have two types of videos that I do. I have in studio where I literally have a studio built just for this. It doesn't move. It stays exactly like this. When I want to tap out, I literally leave this room and, just don't come into it, because it's hard for me to pull away from work. I love what I do.
Right.
So I will have videos like this, but I also am currently testing vlogs, because I haven't been in studio a lot lately, because I just got off of doing a huge event. We had over 30,000 people there, Thinking Color, my partnership with Thinkific. So I got a bit burnt out, because we were live, and then we did an accelerator after. So it was a lot. So for me right now, I haven't been in studio. And so I'm vlogging, which is easy for, I have so many tips in my head from running a business for so many years, from losses to wins to things that I had to learn. So, I'm sharing those currently on my YouTube channel. And what I'm finding is that, man, it's building community, because I'm pulling at the roots of things that people are struggling with, as it pertains to them wanting to build an online business, start an online course business, sell digital products, all of those things. So it depends on the type of content that you are doing. But I like to go back to say, we have shows that we've been watching forever. Like I could still remember what the set of the Channel 6 News looks like. I don't even know if they're around
Oh
still.
no, they are.
Okay. And so when we think about sets like those, you got to
Yeah.
remember that it doesn't matter the set, people are still coming every night. Like if they switch it up, like you'll see like, whoa, like this is
Right.
different kind of thing. So people like familiarity. It's kind of like when we grew up looking at sitcoms, they
Right.
filmed in one specific space. So don't frustrate yourself to switch things up, especially when it's early, unless that's your intention.
Gotcha.
You know, really get grounded in whatever space you're in. And as you elevate, you can test and try things and do different things or, but don't frustrate yourself about it.
Gotcha. The technology, do you use, is there any key pieces of technology that people, if they want to do live streaming, that they need to add that you might not necessarily add if you're only focused on pre-recording your video?
Yeah, and I use the same thing for pre-recorded and live, to be really honest.
Well, if you build it like that, then great.
Yeah. I use the same thing. So for me, if I'm in studio, I'm more than likely using Ecamm,
Right.
right? Because I've been using it for so many years, but you can also, we're live on Ecamm right now. Hello.
We are.
Right. So that is where I would use a product like that. Now, if you are a Windows user, because that's the thing, Ecamm is only for Apple people.
Yeah.
But if you are a Windows user, I definitely endorse Restream. Right. So you're able to stream, you're able to do the same things basically inside of Restream as well. So Ecamm is only for Apple, Mac. So if you have an Apple computer or if you have Mac, stick with Ecamm. But
Right.
if you are not stick with, but it's good. I like it because I
Yeah.
can pre-record. I can sit here and record by myself, or I can interview like Karen is doing right now,
Yeah.
or I can record only. And with Restream, you're able to do all of those same things. So those two tools for me, I use Ecamm through Restream to, if I'm going live and I want to be live simultaneously. Facebook.
Like we are now.
Yes, right. Oh, I didn't even know we were on Facebook.
We're yes.
But,
we're
hey,
we're
okay,
we're
so we're
Ecamm and
streaming via
Restream as well.
Restream.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so now that is pretty cool, and they both have, their advantages and all of the things that you can get into with them.
Right.
But those are my two go-to tools that I really love using. And Restream has a new feature called Peers. Did you know about that?
I seen it, but I haven't watched Xayli Barclay video on it as yet. So
No, there is not one
what
just
it
yet.
is.
However, the really cool thing about it is that if we were using that, it would stream to my audience and stream to your audience. Now, that's fire. Yeah. So all of these tools have different things. Like Karen is looking up at the sky like, damn.
No, because like I said, I seen it. I seen the update come in, and I just haven't taken the time to go through it because, as you know, every single app that we use has a different update or a major update. And then it's like,
let me tell you, I don't pay attention anymore, but yes, I am really like loving that feature. I haven't used it yet, but when I heard about it, I was like, that's fire. So, I know I will be for sure. But
that's dope.
Those are my two go-tos.
That's dope. Now, for creating content, for video content, what are two of your favorite tools? And I'll let you go first. But after you go, there's a tool that I literally sat down and took notes on one of your videos. And since I started to use it, I was like, damn, this is sorcery.
I know what you're I have a feeling I know what you're talking about.
All right, okay, let's go. What are your two favorite tools to create content with?
To create content or video content?
Video content.
Video content, I would have to, damn, I can't pick two. Like, how you gonna do me like that?
Oh yeah, you get three.
Okay. Ecamm.
Right.
For pre-recording or for recording without going live.
Mm-hmm.
Final Cut. Mm-hmm. And the script. Is that what you're talking about?
Listen to me. I sat down a day, I was eating some cornflakes. It's like 8:00 in the evening. And I had seen I had seen a post you did, and it was an audiogram. And I think I asked you, what program was that? You're like, oh, it's Descript.
You and a bunch of other people. What's this?
Yeah, I was like, oh, what is this, right? You're like, it's Descript. I'm like, all right, cool. So it just so happened that the other day I was sitting down, I'm eating some cereal, and I see your video pop up for Descript. So I'm like, all right, let me go and check it out. And I watched that video, and I was like, this tool is right up there with Canva for me.
Oh, definitely.
It is right. It has changed my entire workflow because now I would record a podcast in Descript. It's translated. It gives me the subtitles. It gives me the audio files. And then I could use something like a headliner to create different types of audiograms. But the what I love is that now editing audiograms in Headliner used to annoy the heck out of me. But with Descript, I literally just copy paste sentences, delete words, turn it into a wave file, upload it into audiogram, and then I get the subtitle file all in one. And then when I upload the podcast to my website and I timestamp it, Descript is giving you the timestamp for everything.
It's amazing. Yes. And I'll tell you, on Team, what we do is we even create our blog posts based on Descript. So we'll pull the blog, we'll pull up. So if I do a video, even if it's like one that, let's say I just got on and, you know, for some reason, those are the most bomb videos ever. When you just get on, you flow, you know, we can still pull that content via text, right, through Descript and make a blog post out of it instantly, and then embed the video. And then like Descript is perfect for repurposing your content.
It is.
You can pull tweets out of that. Listen, don't get me started.
It is absolutely insane. And when you start to get creative with tools like Canva, Descript, Headliner, the combinations of things that you can do. And it wasn't until so Ecamm's one of your favorite tools, right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't until, let me just pull this up in frame. It wasn't until I got this bad boy.
Yes, sir.
Give us a little bit of breakdown as to what we're looking at. Let me put that in focus. What is this, Xayli? Talk to us. What is this?
So that is your Stream Deck, right? I'll probably see if I don't drag the whole set down, but your Stream Deck is where you are able to do so much as it pertains to your content. You can pre-schedule any action that you want to create or do, while you're on camera. You're able to use this tool, pre-schedule it. So I don't know, is that where you play your sounds? Like, is that where you get your air horn and?
Oh no, that's the other bad boy. Yes.
Okay. So you can also do that here, but so sometimes I'm streaming and I'll do a dual setup where I have two cameras. So I'll be able to switch in and out of different views using your Stream Deck. You can do so many things. So you can preset commands basically onto your Stream Deck so that, you can create just an exceptional experience. It's really production and production value. So when you start doing these kind of things, you can charge more for whatever it is that you're doing, because people are looking at your show like it's a real show. Like, oh my gosh, like how is she doing all of this
live?
So, yeah.
let's give people a glimpse. So, okay, watch this, right? So what I would have done is, in the preparation of the lives, I have different scenes, and the different scenes is like different looks, different camera views, right? So now that it's programmed into the Stream Deck, I am going to go to Xayli's single cam. So I'm going to press one button and bam! Xayli's on single.
Yeah.
And if we want to go to another view that I would have programmed, let's get back to the two of us. So we're going to push one button and we come back to the two of us, right? So this tool
game changer.
Is a game changer. And working with Ecamm, especially when I started to produce my online courses, I would have my iPad connected to Ecamm. program
Yes.
the different views into Stream Deck. So what I would be is in the course, I'm on camera, I push
Yeah.
one button and it goes to the
Mhm.
iPad to run the presentation.
Yes.
Set up, you can do picture in picture in the presentation so you can have a little
Yes.
circle while the presentation is going on. And all of that is pre-record, all of that is recorded. And what that does, now I know Xayli probably takes it to another level, but I'm somebody who I don't know how to edit for nothing.
Oh
So
wow.
just being able to switch between scenes like that and then have a high
Yeah.
quality video, that's good for
Yeah.
me to upload to the digital courses. But then it gives you more flexibility. If you are somebody that knows how to edit, you can go into editing after that into something like a Final Cut or what have you, right?
Definitely. Yes. And that
So,
pause button on the Stream Deck, do you use that?
oh,
That's an edit right there.
I've I've never done that.
Are you crazy?
I just
Fire.
I will delete the
No.
whole thing.
Oh no, no. When you know that something is coming where, because you could tell if you're on camera, you could tell, listen, I'm about to brain fart.
Right.
So before that happens, you could just hit pause and pick it right back up. Oh yeah,
Oh.
because it stops recording. But look at him. Look, he looking at
I'm
the
sorry. I'm sorry.
he looking at the screen. That like, let me see where my pause button is. But yes, so you can definitely pause and then get that saves me a lot of editing because sometimes what I'll do is if I am thinking like in bullet points when I'm recording, I'll bullet point out my thoughts.
Right.
And so as soon as I'm about to hit the last word, I hit pause so that
Ah.
edits, I don't have to like go in and cut out the space when I probably tap back into notes
Right.
or,
Right.
got myself together. I could pause and then, hit record again and start back recording. And you would never know that yeah, bro.
Wow. I had to record some courses like 2 days ago, and I
Yeah,
like I'm usually pretty good off the cuff. Like once I know what the topic is, I can go.
you can go.
However, there are days where the energy's not there, right?
Yeah, I feel you.
So
Yep.
if the energy isn't there, I might know it, but I might not do it in a way that I
Yeah.
want. That pause button, I think I might have deleted it. I have to go and find that
Put
and
it
bring it
back.
back. And
Listen, that's for me, I leave it right in the right hand corner or left hand corner, wherever I can hide my finger from being on
right,
camera, and I'll just smile and hit
right,
it.
right. So, question about the Stream Deck. When should somebody in the start, shoot, grow process? When should
Yes.
somebody get a Stream Deck, or do they even need a Stream Deck?
You don't, because I'll be honest with you, I probably got mine a year ago.
Mhm.
So it depends on like how your set is set up.
Right,
But you can get a Stream Deck in the shoot phase, like, midway when you're using your laptop, you're using a webcam, that kind of thing, you're
right.
able to, start using it because then you can connect it to computer. So when you're in the start phase, you're using your phone and you can't really connect a Stream Deck to your phone. So that's why I'll say you can start in the shoot phase or in the grow phase.
Gotcha. So what we're gonna do as we're getting ready to wrap up, because we've taken up an hour of Xayli's time, it doesn't even feel like an hour. Just it doesn't even feel like it. We're gonna get into the Q&A section. So what I want you guys and gals to do is you have two ways to connect with us tonight. You can call us directly or on WhatsApp at 868-737-4358, and we will bring you on live and you can ask Xayli a question directly. Or if you're too shy to be on video live with us, right, you can drop your question in the message and we'll bring it up on screen. If you want to call us directly, or you can call us on WhatsApp and we will take your call live and you can ask Xayli your question. So the phone line is open now. Definitely give us a call. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your voice. We'll take a couple of questions and then we'll wrap up. Again, if you're not too comfortable, jumping on the phone to call us, definitely drop your questions in the comments and we will have those answered. So while that is getting started, I know we had a couple of questions. Let me see. I think we answered a few of them as we were going along.
I
Let
see a
me
good one that I want to answer.
go ahead.
Okay, I don't know why I'm frozen on the screen, but I hope I'm not frozen.
Hold on. Are frozen,
Mhm.
but hold on. Don't worry.
No
Don't
worries. No
worry.
worries.
We will get. All right. So Xayli, what we're gonna do is I'm going to. You see, and I like this. I like when even when we have technical things, people can see it live, and we're gonna fix this live. So Xayli, we're gonna bring you out and then come right back in.
Okay, so I'll be right back.
All right. Perfect. So while Xayli comes back in, please drop your questions in the comments section. We will bring the comments up on screen and you can ask Xayli directly, or you can call us at 868-737-4358. We will take your questions live over the phone. All right. So call us, direct, WhatsApp. Either is fine. We want to hear your voice. If not, you can drop your questions in the chat and we will bring those up. So we're just waiting for Xayli to come back in. But, while we're waiting for Xayli to come back, let me know, what are some of the issues that you guys are facing? Are you enjoying tonight's chat? Like I said, just looking at Xayli's quality compared to mine, you just see right out the gate that Xayli's quality is on another level. And this is exactly why I wanted to bring her on board, because watching her live videos, watching her pre-recorded videos, if you see the way she puts together her content, everything looks like it's in a movie. And I'm always amazed at the level of quality that, whether it's her pictures, whether it's pre-recorded video, whether it's live video, I'm always amazed at Xayli's quality. So we're just bringing Xayli back in. Bear with us. We had a little technical difficulty. But don't worry, we're going to be getting Xayli right back because I want the questions to come in. I want to get those answered. Don't worry, bear with us. But yeah, so again, drop some of the questions that you guys have. Let us know, some of the challenges that you guys are facing with either, your pre-recorded video, your live video, any questions that you want to ask Xayli, drop them in the comments, or you can give us a call at 737-4358, either directly or on WhatsApp. Xayli's quality, as I was saying before, Xayli's quality is just another level. And it always amazes me that she's at home. She's built this studio at home. And to be able to achieve the level of quality that she has while live streaming, I'm always amazed, and I always bug her like, hey, what are you using? What is the lens? What is the program? Anytime she puts out content, I always want to know how. And the minute I watch one of her videos or she gives me a little tip, I try to go and research the heck out of it. And then I start to practice and implement some of the things that she might be doing I know I can't do. So, again, I haven't reached some of those levels, but then she gave me the gem about Descript, and just getting her feedback on Descript and the different ways that she uses it. It has simplified my workflow tremendously. So I see Xayli trying to come back, but you see, it's like Murphy's Law today. Sometimes things just don't always go the way that you want to go. So we're trying to get Xayli back in. Bear with us, folks. For some reason, hold on. Let's see if we can get Xayli. Hold on. Xayli, are you here with us?
I am. I don't know what's happening with Ecamm right now, but I can talk, so I can answer questions, but I guess you can't just see my
worries.
video.
So we have a caller. Give us 1 second. Let's just bring her in. Hello, caller. Good night. How are you?
I'm fine. This is Donna Luisa. How are you doing?
Donna, how are you doing? You are live on Digipreneur Live with Karan and Xayli. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, it's been great. I have a question for Xayli, please.
Yes.
I've been trying to do my videos, and what bothers me is, am I going to be too long? Is it when you start, you should be conscious or focus on keeping it for a certain amount of seconds, or what's a good timing? What's good to do your video so that it doesn't become long and boring?
I love that, Donna. That is a really good question. When you're starting off, I would say just flow. What you want to
Uh
do
huh.
to, are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm
Can you hear
hearing
me,
you. Go
Karen?
ahead.
Yeah, she's hearing you good. So go ahead, Xayli.
Okay. Okay. What you want to do is give people an expectation, and that will help them to stay on as long as possible. Meaning that when you first get on, you have to remember to share with people what this video is about or what you're covering in this video, so that they know, well, this is what I'm going to stay on for, kind of thing, right? I guess Ecamm just figured itself out, but
No worries. Go
good thing
ahead.
I wasn't doing anything
Oh,
crazy. Good thing I didn't take off my wig and just relax myself, But
okay. So,
uh-huh.
uh huh.
So you want to give people a expectation for, what's going to happen, and that's going to keep people on longer. Example, if I came on and said, "Hey, today we're going to talk about how you can actually keep people on or listening to your video or watching your video for more than 5 minutes," you would stay around to hear what I'm going to touch on. Right. The other
Mhm.
thing that I would say is, after you do that, or even before you get on camera, map out 3 to 5 points that you're going to cover, right? So 3 is a lot. If you gotta push it, you could do 5, but I would say stick to around 3. What that does for you is it keeps you clear, 1, 2, 3, as in your points, right? So that you're not rambling as you go along. So, and remember that you're still able to come on and do a part 2 or do an extension of the video. So don't feel like you need to cram everything in one video. Like, I'm excited. If Karen invites me back, we can go into more stuff, right? We don't have to cover everything today, kind of thing.
Donna, did you get that?
I got most of it. I just didn't get the last part. I just
Okay.
got
Now
don't
I got it.
don't do everything. Don't push to say everything, which is a problem that I have.
Yes, you got to remember that you're going to show up online. If it's once a week, if it's once every day, you can continue that conversation. Give people room to ask you questions. So if you forget something, somebody's going to ask you about it in the comments. Somebody's going to say, "So what about so and so?" Right? And that gives you a chance to create a whole new video, or based on that question that one person had, that 5 people probably had. So don't feel pressured. Remember, this is a continuation, and that you're building a presence in the online space. You don't have to cover everything right away.
That's perfect. Donna, thank you for
Th-
calling
Yeah, thank
in.
you.
You're
Thanks a
welcome.
million. Cheers.
All right,
Cheers
take
to
care,
you. Wishing you
Donna.
luck on your video journey.
And to follow up and piggyback on Donna's question, a pretty popular question I know that I get asked. I'm probably sure you get asked, 10 times more. Is there a sweet spot in length that you should be going for? Because you hear people say people don't have an attention span. You have to do short video. But then we see gamers who are streaming 14
Hello.
hours and
Yeah.
people stay on. So is there
Yes.
a sweet spot that you should go for, or how do you kind of condition your audience
Yeah,
to
that's a
expect?
really good question. I think that really depends on industry. If you're a gamer, you will be stupid to get on there for 5 minutes, right? And
Ah,
and do a 5 minute video. So understand your industry. If people in your industry are doing hour-long videos, then hey, you got to realize, okay, so there is, because even on YouTube, when we think about looking at channels, we see that so and so looks at this channel also.
Right.
Right. So, people are, if you're in a specific industry where videos are longer, create longer videos. The
Right.
other thing about that is it's really testy. So you have to also take action and start doing it and then look at analytics. So for me, what I'll do is I'll create a 20-minute video and I'll see where people drop off.
Right.
I bet. When I come back, I'm probably going to create in about, a video about 7 minutes if they dropped off at minute 7, because that's where
Right.
I realized that I lost that retention. So you
Right.
just have to be aware of what's going on in industry and also what's going on for yourself. But do not frustrate yourself and fluster yourself to let me do what, or let me rush it, or, don't. Really focus on giving value. When you give your value and you close off your point, because there are some people that will stay till the end of what you're saying, right? So
That's a
it's
fact.
really about testing that. Yep.
That's a fact. And again, and a point to really, kind of hammer home, folks, is that look at your analytics, because
Yes.
somebody else's data could be completely different because they have a
Yes.
different audience, a different style. Everything is different.
Yes.
But even if
Yes.
they're in the same industry, look at your analytics and kind of refine your messaging and how you go and how you produce your content, as Xayli said. We have a question from Dominique, and Dominique says, how do you filter out background noise?
This is such a good question. This is the question that I wanted to answer.
This is a Caribbean question.
Oh, it's a very Caribbean question. Let me tell you, I remember when I started going to college, my dad would always call me and say, come home, I can make sure everything is okay with you, because New York is a big city, right?
Right.
And so I was like, I started so he would always say that. Now, as, I started getting older and things like that, he'd encourage me, if you came home, you'd be able to. And all I would think about is, how am I going to do videos with dogs barking in the background? I cannot. But now that I'm in my journey, I will tell you, embrace that. The dog is there. Yes. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you start creating content, you also realize that people that might be watching, because I look at Kivo and he's in Trinidad and I'm in the US. You'll start realizing that you're getting views from all over the world. And honestly, the way that we think about dogs in Trinidad is not the same way people here. In the US, the dog is better off than you, darling. Yeah. So it might be something that happens in your video that you could actually maximize on, don't be afraid or ashamed of just your environment. These are things that you can use to your advantage. Yes. Right. I remember, when I lived in Brooklyn, I would hear my neighbors through the wall. And I would say it you know what, they back at it again, guys. What we gonna do? Instead of feeling embarrassed about it, you just got to embrace it and flow with it. And you know what? Your situation might change as you grow, but what you aren't going to do is let that stop you.
No,
fair
that is perfect. That is perfect advice. I mean, anybody who watches my Instagram stories, you guys know I be naming my animals in the background. So people know Chicky. People know Chicky. People know Chicky, right?
There you go. There's Ralph Smart, who always talks about, he's on YouTube. He has a brand called Infinite Waters. And he always talks about the cat down the road, And, it helps people to use their imagination. Because I want to know what this cat looks like.
Right.
I've been hearing about this cat for years. You get what I'm saying? He uses it as a reference to a random person. Even the cat down the road. But it's so interesting. So you have to use what you have, man.
That's perfect. And it's unique to us. I mean, we're going to hear some sounds in Trinidad and in the Caribbean period that you're not going to hear in the US or in Toronto.
And people relate to it.
Yes.
Guess what? They looking at you and they have a dog barking behind them too.
Yes. We have another question in coming from Ray Ray. She says, I have a tiny corner I use as my office, and I've always thought that the space is too blamed for my poor audio quality. But I see that Karen is in a corner right now. Is the magic in the mic? Xayli, talk to us.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Sorry, Ray. Yes. Yes, it definitely is. A mic. Well, it goes both ways because I will tell you that I am sitting in a huge studio, like it's a huge room, and that was my main concern when I first moved to this space. I was like, man, you're gonna hear an echo. A mic can't help it, but I'll tell you what, if you have a microphone and you're in a corner of a room, but you have other things around you. So when we built out the studio, we put like a couch, we put we put mats down, we put things to absorb that sound. And so now, I mean, it could still be better,
Yeah.
but your microphone is really helpful.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yes, your microphone is going to reduce echo. It's going to help you sound even more crisp and clear. And Descript now has studio sound, which I tested the other day, and it sounds like you're in the studio.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Nah, I gotta try that. And yes,
Yeah.
Ray, like your microphone, we especially here in the Caribbean, we hear about Yetis. Like anytime you hear about a mic, people just automatically think Yeti, right? But
Yeah.
a Yeti condenser mic might not be the best mic
I
for
agree. And I'm
Caribbean
using
people.
one. I agree. Yes.
Because
Not
they
here for
pick
it.
up
Not
so much
sponsored.
noises, right?
Yes, they do.
So Xayli's using a condenser mic, right?
Yeah.
And what I'm using is called a dynamic microphone. And what this microphone does is it is built to kind of filter out a lot of the background noise and focus on my voice. So when I talk into the mic like this, you hear me beautifully. But the minute I turn and talk over here, right?
That's my issue. Yes. For me, I trust me, I have to go that way, but to
You're
me it's not
animated, right?
aesthetically pleasing. It just doesn't look cute. And I'm trying to look cute.
One
But I
thing,
agree.
Ray, I will show you. this. This is something. This, I had to run away. This is something
Yes.
that we put around the room. So Xayli, kind of break this down. What am I holding?
Yes, so those absorb sound. It absorbs, well, what we call it is kind of room sound or the echoes that I'm talking about. So it kind of absorbs that, which is kind of what I used as, couches and rugs and all of those things to absorb that sound. So you can also do that with sheets. You can do it with different things. There are hacks that you can do, but Karen definitely has his crates, so they absorb, that echo that you don't want in your videos.
Perfect. Xayli, I want to, I've taken up a lot of your time tonight. So let us kind of wrap this up because I know you got another big day ahead of you tomorrow. So for the Digipreneur Live community, just give us some closing remarks for the people who are, again, they're now starting their video journey or their live streaming journey. Give us some closing remarks to kind of just uplift the community.
Yeah, like I said before, don't focus on what people told you about yourself when you were possibly growing up, or don't hold on to those things. And I just want to remind you that you will never feel like you're ready to get on camera. The answers that you're looking for is all in the action. You got to create bad videos for you to realize, oh, I'm gonna do that differently the next time, or I'm not gonna do that again, or don't be afraid to test and try. It's a journey. And one of the smartest things that you can start doing is documenting. You don't have to come on and curate and perform every day. Sometimes you could just document exactly what you're going through, what you have going on. I don't mean get on there and tell your business, but document as it pertains to your business that you're running, right? So just keep that in mind and keep pushing. Like I said, think about your start phase, your shoot phase, and your grow phase, and keep shooting for the stars. We don't accomplish anything if we stop or we get scared or we're like, I'm not gonna get on camera again because somebody said I had a big head. I don't know what I have with big heads tonight, but you get what I'm saying. Like don't let anybody discourage you in your journey. Project where you want to be and create goals and work towards those goals.
I love it. I love it. Xayli, where can the Digipreneur community find you?
You guys can find me everywhere at Xayli Barclay or at Start Shoot Grow over on startshootgrow.com. I have an equipment guide up there.
Love it.
I'm always in the DMs, so don't be afraid to say hello. I love saying hi to my people. And yeah, I'd love to connect with you guys.
Perfect. So folks, you want to make sure you go over to XayliBarclay.com. All of her information is here. Listen, I don't know what sauce, what sorcery she puts on these photos on the video. I don't know. I needed to know the magic. But you could definitely connect with Xayli. The information that she puts out on content creating, especially if you guys are now getting started. This is the resource. This is the place to go. Join her academy. You will not regret it. I don't know what else to say about Xayli. Xayli's just a boss, and you just look at her again. Like when we were trying to get you back on, I was telling everybody, Xayli is goals, she is levels. You just look at my quality, then you look at her and you're like, wow, So nah, this is beautiful. So definitely connect over with Xayli. Xayli, I want to thank you for giving up some time with us tonight to come and talk to us. Good luck in all of your endeavors. I know that you are doing some amazing things. I love it. I love to see it. And we're gonna connect again soon. Thank you, Xayli.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate this. I love your community. And listen, you're killing it. So, let's do this thing.
I try to think. I try to think. All right. Thank you, Xayli. Folks, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Digipreneur Live. If you guys enjoyed it, please drop some flames in the chat. Let me know if you enjoyed the program with Xayli Barclay this evening. She is a absolute boss. The things that she knows, how she puts things together, the workflows, the tools. Listen, everything that you need to build your brand, your image online and help, sell online. Video is going to be a huge part of that. Video and also live video. And you need to follow people who are going to be able to guide you in the right direction so that, again, when you do show up, you're not just guessing and leaving up to chance. Go follow Xayli Barclay. You will definitely not regret it. So that is it for me tonight. The replay is already available on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. So if there's anything you guys want to go back to, or if you're part of the replay gang and you want to catch it, you guys can go back and check it out on those platforms. That's it from me tonight, folks. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you and take care.
You've been listening to the Digiboss, Karan Rose. We hope your notepad was filled after this episode. Make sure to like, rate, and review the show. The learning doesn't stop, folks. And to make sure you don't miss any gems from the Digiboss, go over and follow him on all social media platforms at Karan Rose. Folks, don't just sit there with a notepad. We need you to implement at least one thing into your business before the next episode. That's the only way your business levels up. Thanks for listening to Digipreneur FM. Now go be great.